the biggest obstacle to American tennis greatness is the very organization tasked with creating it. I've been down a rabbit hole of budgets, bylaws, and junior tournament draws, and I've discovered that USTA isn't just failing our next generation of stars, it's following a perfect, foolproof blueprint on how to fail them. We're talking a system so brilliantly designed for mediocrity, you'd think our international rivals funded it. So grab your racket or just your popcorn and let's break down the USTA's official guide to not developing tennis champions. Here we go. Step 1 in the blueprint. Make success a geographic lottery. If you're born with a backhand in Boca Raton or a serve in San Diego, congratulations. You've won the tennis birth lottery. You have year-round courts, a density of academies and coaches. And I personally know this because I'm from the Southern California, Orange County section. So I know this personally. But if you're a phenom in Plano, Texas, tough luck. Your section is so massive. Getting to a top tournament requires a flight, a hotel, and a second mortgage. The USTA tennis section, it does offer a travel grant. You guys want to know how much it is? A whopping $1,000. Yeah! One! That might cover your checked bag fees for the seasons. It's not a pathway to pros. It's a paywall. $1,000 USTA, what's going on? Here we go. Step 2 in the blueprint. Generate a tsunami of cash. Now make it vanish. Now you might think, this system is underfunded. Oh, but you're wrong. The USTA is a financial powerhouse. In 2024 alone, it hauled over $623 million. The US Open alone made $277 million profit. And we only get $1,000 for the grants for our future stars? Interesting. So where does all that money go? Well, a cool whopping $800 million is going to overhaul the stadium in New York. And what about the kids? The actual future of the sport? Well, they get the American Development Model. And the model for the USTA's junior development before it was defunded was the 5 C's: competence, confidence, character, connection, and creativity. It's a beautiful philosophy. They want our kids to have creativity and connection. It's just too bad that those C's don't stand for cash for court time, covered travel costs, or cheap ITF entries. They're more connected to concrete and luxury suites than solving the actual problem. I also have and will be posting USTA's taxes, their 1099 taxes, in the link below. If you guys are interested to see what they're spending, how they're spending it, and how much money is actually going into this system we call USTA. Step 3 in the blueprint, create false peaks. The USTA's age group national ranking system is a masterpiece. It makes kids and parents feel like they're climbing Mount Everest when they're really just mastering the local hill. Okay? It's local, it's national, it's not international level, people. You can be the number 2 12-year-old in Nebraska and feel like a king. Meanwhile, you're number 50,000th in the world. And that's unrealistic. That's unrealistic for USTA to make you feel that way, and it's unrealistic for them not to offer international events when they are meant and tasked with closing the gap. And you might sit here and think, well, where do I test myself globally? Well, not here. We have an ITF desert here in America. Why host affordable international tournaments in the US when families can spend $5,000 to fly to Cancun? The USTA's development model about competence, but it prevents you from competing at the right level. How does it make sense? Now you might think, this is all theoretical. Let's check the history books. Exhibit A, Taylor Townsend, world number 1 junior. Okay, the USTA's brilliant development model for her, tell her to skip the US Open and to lose weight. That's great, USTA. We want to body shame our juniors and tell them, even though you're winning, even though you have results and you've proven that you can play and compete, we're still not going to help you unless you fit our perfect ideals. That's something we really want to show our children, right? I don't think so. Exhibit B, the Donald Young saga. A tale of the prodigy with a federation that seemed to take, if you're not with us, you're against us, as its motto. Donald Young chose to still train at home in Georgia with his family, and he refused to train at the National Tennis Center because he was prevailing where he was. And they took a lot of offense to that. Even Patrick McEnroe himself had some negative things to say about that. But if he is prevailing where he's at, why not just fund where he's at? Why not see what's going on over there? Why is he prevailing? What is he playing? And use that as an example for other kids in the area to show, hey, we support this. We support the community. We support the parents and the people and the other people that are outside the USTA to develop, and we would love to include them in USTA. It doesn't sound very inclusive now, does it? So there you have it, the USTA's blueprint. Limit access by zip code, invest in stadiums over players, create false confidence, and hide the real competition. It's a masterclass in bureaucratic inertia, backed by hundreds and millions of dollars that are not going to the American taxpayers, to the American juniors, to the Americans that pay for these types of results. It's not fair. I was a junior tennis player myself, with the privilege of being in these zip-coded areas. And I got to play a lot of international players just because the academies were in my backyard. So I got to play people from all over the world. But if you're in Texas where no academies are in your backyard, you're in Nebraska, you're in Kentucky, you're in Arkansas, you're in Montana, Ohio, you're in these locations, how are you going to get the help unless you have the money? Unless USTA is funding the clubs, they're failing us. But this doesn't have to be the story. This channel is going to keep investigating, naming names, and breaking down the costs, both financial and human. Subscribe if you're tired of the pay-to-play nonsense. Comment below with your own USTA guide story. Share with a tennis parent, a coach, or a friend who still thinks the system works. Let's see if we can change the game. My name is Taylor Waldron, and this is Serving Up Thoughts. Thank you for watching.